Hey, it's Mike the Political Science Guy. Thanks for tuning in again. Let's talk about the retreat of woke and the retreat of DEI. Why is it important? Well, politics is cyclical. It's also like a pendulum. It swings this way, overreacts, swings that way, overreacts, swings this way, and hopefully with time it settles into a middle. It's also a teeter-totter. And if you got springs in it, you don't go too far. But if an activist takes out the springs in the teeter-totter, it goes wham or wham, and then you get a reaction that's often very abrupt and unexpected. So you had a Supreme Court that got packed by the Republicans, so it was a 6-3 conservative majority. Affirmative action came up at Harvard as a issue, and the folks in Harvard were so into their cul-de-sac of echoes that they couldn't see that taking this case all the way up to the Supreme Court was a huge gamble, because when the Supremes ruled, it becomes the law of the country. And so instead of paying off a plaintiff, which would have been the flexible thing to do, these folks in the faculty lounge over at Harvard thought they were smarter than everybody else. And of course, there's nothing worse than an expert off their subject. They went all the way to the Supremes, and now affirmative action is gone in the college system. Officially gone. They didn't expect it. Now, from there, the argument goes, well, if you can't do it in a university, can you do it in business? Can you do it in a quasi-private, quasi-government grant funding program and so forth? So those issues are now being adjudicated, and it means that if you're a corporation, you're going to say, hey, are we going to get sued because we violated somebody's civil rights? Then the courts came with a second decision, which involved a female cop who was transferred from one job title to another, which meant that she had to take on work on the weekends. It was the same money, but she had a different titling, and she didn't want to work on the weekends. But it was because of a version of a diversity kind of program. And so she fought it. And she won. And what the court said was, it doesn't matter if you are financially hurt. You could be hurt in other ways, which meant that the courts actually lowered the threshold for a plaintiff in a discrimination lawsuit. And remember, we're talking about discrimination, not reverse discrimination. It could go either way. A lot of folks say, no, that's just reverse discrimination, and it has a special protection because of all the wrongs that have happened in the United States. But this Supreme Court doesn't see it that way, which means that now there's going to be cases that are going to be adjudicated for folks that say that, hey, look, I didn't lose money per se, but I lost an opportunity, or I lost a promotion, or I lost, having my weekends off. And all of these kinds of things, or title, all of these kinds of things mean that what's happening is that folks that would, shall we say, make an industry, a small cottage industry out of DEI, are now having to face corporate boards that are saying, I'm sorry, but it's too risky for us to be able to, discriminate against people because of their race or their sex or what have you. And that includes, the majority. And it was eventually going to come to this. It's just happening now. So on some level, just remember how important it is to not take the springs out of the teeter-totter. Because when the left went too far and the Democrats didn't stop them inside their own party, this happens. So take heart that at this point in time, because when a Supreme Court decision happens, it usually happens for about 20 years or so until another generation of justices take up a similar issue and may or may not change what they've decided, that this is going to be a new reality that's going to be settling in. And it's going to episodically happen in different states and different in different districts, so you'll be seeing this play itself out. So thanks for tuning in. Again, it's Mike the Political Science Guy, and I hope that you objectively take this information and realize that there's something good in knowing not to go too far. All movements do. It's not a good thing. Have a good one. Thanks so much.